So Animal Crossing is 20 years old today, and more people are playing the series than ever before thanks to Pocket Camp and New Horizons. And as someone that has put their fair share of time into New Horizons, I thought I'd give you 10 things I'd love to see added to the game. Not necessarily quality of life choices, but content that I think would greatly improve the game. Let's go! Like with many games, one of the staples of Animal Crossing has been its music style. Every hour a new song plays outside, giving a different feel to every hour of the day. Be it the quirky tunes from the N64 and GameCube version of the game, or the quieter songs of New Leaf. But in New Horizons, the music just kinda blends together. Like, it's certainly not offensive in any way, they're decent, but none of the songs stick out to me. Even while writing this, despite playing at 6 AM pretty much every day for this past year, I can't sing the 6 AM music, or any of the outside music. That said, I'm not asking the devs to get a whole new soundtrack made. That would be crazy. I'm simply suggesting Nooktunes! A new app for your Nook phone that lets you spend Nook miles on albums of hourly music from past games. You can shuffle the different games together to get a different 3 PM song every day. Choose music from one game, have one song on repeat, or even make a playlist of your favorite songs. You could even put cataloged KK Slider albums in Nooktunes. There could even be songs from the spin-off games. How would it work if you get near a music playing piece of furniture? Well, it would work the same way other hourly music works. You walk near one, Nooktunes fades out. You go inside a house, Nooktunes turns off. We have 20 years worth of music! We should use it! And now for an issue I'm probably the only person that cares about enough to bring it up in a video. I want special NPCs to be able to be dressed up on Photopia. I want to put a poo-poo hat on Tom Nook. I want to give Red devil horns. But most importantly, I want to put Isabelle in Princess Peach's dress. We know they can wear different clothes, because not only do they regularly have different outfits and hats,
which don't even show up on Harvey's Island when you summon them there with Amiibo,
but apparently every character in the game has a naked model, so every piece of clothing can be put on them, except for things that are specifically for the waist down, oddly enough. It feels like I'm not asking for much. I just want to let special NPCs be dressed for the scenes I'm creating. And speaking of special villagers, Retirement Island! Ever wonder what happened to Tortimer, Sao, Nat, Chip, and so on? Well, they all got old and decided to retire on Captain's Island. Now you can fly to visit the elderly, which also lets you play minigames with your friends online. Online minigames in Animal Crossing? How come that's not a feature that's ever been done before? Each retired villager would have a different minigame for your friends to play. But say you don't have friends. Not a hard stretch for me, but well then random villagers will play with you instead. They could come from your island, or they could be completely random, like when you're villager hunting on an island tour. Gyroids. Okay, let me set the stage. Today's face of Animal Crossing is Isabelle. Before her, one could argue it was Tom Nook. However, for my money, the face of Animal Crossing was made of clay, and had 3 holes where a face should be, and weird-looking arms, and a hat that looked like a condom. Gyroids were weird little things you could find in your town on rainy days by digging up cracks in the ground. They came in all kinds of different styles, and would actually sing along to music. They were a kind of status symbol too. Like if you had a full set, you were cool. If you had multiple, you were a king. If you had them all, you were probably a cheating hacker or had way too much time on your hands, you nerd. Point is, they were a staple of the series for so long that, frankly, I really don't get why the only gyroid we have these days is Lloyd. And I get that gyroids have a kind of dark origin that would imply why they wouldn't be seen here on an island that we are the first to set foot on. But what's more important, the lore of the game making sense, or the series staples being used over and over ad nauseum? Okay, shut up, I just want my gyroids. Villager texting. Stop me if you've heard this one before. You're looking to talk to all of your villagers for the day, but one isn't home. You also can't find them when running around the island, or in the shops. So you start running all through the museums, different exhibits, and still can't find them. so you decided to just quit the game, reload, and hope they respawn somewhere that exists this time. What can be done to fix this? Well, every villager has a phone. Let you call your villagers and find out where they are. If they're outside, send a GPS signal on the map. If they're inside, they tell you what building. If they're in the museum, they tell you which exhibit they're looking at. This could save so much time, it's not even funny. Crossover items / fortune cookies. I'm lumping these together because while the updates to add Mario items and Sanrio items were cool and all, I'd really like to see crossovers from other Nintendo games again. Animal Crossing has pretty much always had these crossover furniture items and clothing options, usually given away in luck-based events. The fortune cookies would be the perfect way to do this, and it would be very easy to implement them in a simple shop upgrade. Look, there's even extra land to expand. We could use this to get furniture items of the other Nintendo systems. Sure, like having an NES item, a Wii U, a Game Boy, basically giving us the ability to create the kind of display that was seen in the trophy room in Smash Bros. Melee. But perhaps even better, we could get stuff from Zelda, Star Fox, Pikmin, Metroid, heck, we could even add Splatoon stuff in now. Oh yeah, and speaking of crossovers... Crossover villagers! Remember when octopus villagers weren't as endangered? Remember when you could have the King of Evil as a neighbor? Remember when Callie and Marie were squirrels? I have no idea why some of these weren't brought back. Well, okay, I can guess why 2 of them weren't, since technically they're crossover promotions with properties that belong to other companies. But Nintendo owns Splatoon and Zelda! These characters should have been in the game from the start, but Nintendo was apparently against that! Plus, we could add even more of these villagers in if we wanted to. Have Falco and Fox villagers, have Donkey Kong, have the King of Red Lions as a lion! Maybe get Pokemon involved with Animal Crossing for the first time, and have a Pikachu hamster villager! Smash Bros. Is the king of crossover fighting games, so let's get some crossover life sim action going on. I mean, with the international debut of the Sanrio villagers, the crossover door is open anyway! Expanding rooms. Hey, you ever think about how Harvey's house in Photopia has all giant rooms? You ever wonder what it'd be like if your villager's house had a house like that? Well, in New Leaf, you were allowed to have that. Rooms could be expanded to be as large as your main entrance room is in the game. But for some reason, Nintendo seems hesitant to let you have larger rooms in this game. With larger rooms means more furniture that you can put down and have new ways to decorate, meaning the restrictions of smaller spaces are gone. And you wouldn't have to expand them if you wanted the rooms to remain their cozy size. But showing off furniture in a house is one of the best parts about Animal Crossing. And even if you can place furniture outside, there's something about having furniture in a more controlled environment, where the look can be curated perfectly, that makes it all the better. Not to mention, this ties in nicely with the Happy Home Academy. According to sales numbers, New Horizons has sold 18.63 million more copies than New Leaf so far. This means that 18.63 million of you didn't know that Isabelle has a twin brother! And he works for the Happy Home Academy. In New Leaf, the Street Pass system let you walk past other players and get information about their homes so you could go in, look around, and if anything they had on display that was able to be cataloged and purchased, you could buy the furniture in a kiosk and have it sent to you in your own game. I could see the New Horizons Happy Home Academy having 3 functions. Firstly, Lyle would help you save and upload the information of your home to the interwebs. Second, Digby would take you to visit other homes either with an HHA code, visit a random home, or see the house of someone on your Nintendo Switch friends list. Here, you can look at how they're decorated and order from a catalog with up to 5 items a day to get more stuff. Third, Lottie would let you use Amiibo to look at villager houses and even special NPC houses. Remember when special NPCs had RVs in the Welcome Amiibo update for New Leaf? Well, here, they have their own houses. The same size as regular villager houses, of course. And you can order special furniture like they had in Welcome Amiibo! The only question is, where would the HHA be? Because it could be a new building, yes, but I could also see it being a Nook phone app, or a new place to visit by plane like Harvey's Island. But frankly, I don't care what option they pick, I just want the feature back. The Roost. The Roost is a cafe run by Brewster the Pigeon, and is one of the most peaceful places in any Animal Crossing game. It has been used as a place where KK performs, a place to store and display gyroids, and a place where a coffee-serving minigame is played. Which features would I want back? Yes, I would like all of them back. The gyroids I mentioned earlier, this would be the perfect thing to include with them in the update that adds them. I want to not only store gyroids, but pick which ones are on display, like at Club LOL. I want to be able to have KK move his shows to the Roost, or at least maybe have different shows as DJ KK at the Roost. I want the coffee serving minigame back. Heck, we could even add a coffee delivery minigame, where the player has to deliver coffee to an island resident before the coffee cools too much. I've wanted the Roost for so long. I've had an area reserved for them for several months now. I keep seeing people online wanting the Roost back. You know how many people I've seen flat out say, I don't want the Roost back? 0. Even if people are neutral to the Roost, nobody is against it, except apparently for some folks at Nintendo, and I truly don't understand their reasoning unless the person making the decision was traumatized by pigeons and thinks people shouldn't have pigeons anymore because pigeons are the devil! I don't actually have a good ending to this. Okay, bye.